Hello everyone, welcome to this new section of our course. In this section, we're going to discuss about the strings. Firstly, there are very important functions, predefined functions in C++ to deal with the strings that we are going to practice coding exercises and review some of the most important of these functions, and then we are going to dive deeper into the concept of a string. So stay tuned, and please note that when we would like to work with strings in C++, we need to include this header in our in the above of the code. So this header is important to be included when we would like to work with the strings. Stay tuned. We are going to go through the different string functions one by one in this section. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's lecture, we would like to discuss how to sort a string. Before doing that, we need to include one header. Please note that if you're working with the sorting of strings, not only you need to include the string header, but also you need to include the algorithm header in the beginning of your code. So let's dive in. So we would like to sort a string. The string is programming. Okay, now when we want to sort it, we simply use the sort predefined function as here, and there are two arguments, one before comma, then one after comma. The before comma is the beginning part of the sorting, and after comma is the end of the sorting. Basically, because I would like to sort all the string, and the full string, I would like to sort it. I type down the name of the string, then dot, then begin and parentheses, and after the comma, because I would like to sort the full string, I would say the name, which is str dot end and parentheses. So basically, what it's going to do, it's in ascending order, it is going to sort the string for us. So as you see here, now when we are printing the string, it is sorted starting from A, then alphabetically speaking, it is sorting the string programming for us. This sorting is very important, specifically when we are going to work with an array of strings that we are going to discover later on this section. And we can see some practical examples of using sorting of strings in an array of a string. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to another coding exercise. So now we would like to combine the concept of array and strings, and we would like to learn how to have an array of strings. So we would like to write a program that considers having an array of a string and prints its element. To do that, we first have an array of a string called fruits, and within the braces, we can simply put down the number of elements, or we can leave it empty, it's optional. And it is a type of a string, and we have the brackets here. In the brackets there are the elements, and each element, because it's a array of a string, each element is in double quote. So the first element is apple, then it is with a comma, it is separated from the second element, the third element, and the fourth element. In order to compute the size of this array of a string, we learned from before this formula the size of the full array of a string divided by the size of the first element. So the full is that each one of these, for example, are taking 4 bytes. And when we have 4 elements, the size of fruits equals 16, 4 multiplied by 4, because each are having 4 bytes and there are 4 elements, so 16. When 16 is divided by the first size of the first element, which is 4 already, so the size of element, this array of a string, is 4, and as you see there are 4 elements here. So this way, using this formula, we can compute the size. I will say it one more time. Each element is taking, for example, 4 bytes of memory. So we have 4 elements here, each taking 4 bytes, meaning that the size of the array of a string in total will be 4 times 4, because there are 4 elements, each of them are taking 4 bytes. So 4 times 4 will be 16. this part will be 16, and then it is divided by the size of the first element. So this is the fruit array of a string, and this index is discussing the first element, which is apple. So the first element, we said that each element is taking, for example, 4 bytes, and now 16 divided by 4 equals 4. So the size of this array of a string is 4, and we can verify it by counting the number of elements. Yes, there are 4 elements here. So we computed the size. And now we would like to print this array of a string. So we say fruits in the array, and we have a for loop starting from 0 as long as I is lower than size, and we're printing all the elements of the array of a string fruits using I index. So I equals 0, it is going to print apple. When I equals 1, it is going to print banana. I equals 2, cherry. I equals 3, it is going to print the date. So let me type it down. I equals 0, print apple. I equals 1, print banana. I equals 2, print cherry. And finally, I equals 3, print date. So this way we are printing all the elements of this array of a string. Let me run. Okay, great. So we see that all the elements of this array of strings are printed, like apple, banana, cherry, and date. So this is how we declare and initialize an array of strings. Previously, we were working with arrays, normal arrays that were containing numbers and valid variables like integers or floats. Now, now we are having an array of strings that are holding different strings or names, or let's say sequences of characters. And we declared them, we computed the size, and we printed them all of the elements one by one using a for loop. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome to another coding exercise. So now we would like to write a program that sorts an array of a string. So this is our array. It's banana, apple, cherry, and date. And then we have the size of the array computed here. Using the sort function in C++, we are going to sort the array of a string in ascending or alphabetical order. So basically, the sort function, we practiced this previously in previous lectures in this section. Firstly, we are going to tell the name of the array of a string that we would like to perform the sorting over. And then we are giving the range within which we would like to this sorting function perform the sorting. So we are saying that basically with this word, we are saying start from the first element of the word, something like this, and go until the end of this array of a string. So n equals the size of the array. So basically we are telling the sort function to sort elements from the first element until the last element. This is how we're telling the C++ compiler to understand what we mean. So these words here is talking about the first element starting from the beginning, like here, until the end, like here, plus this plus n means until the end here. And n is the size of the array. So basically what it means to go for the index 0, 1, 2, and 3, but n is 4. But we are saying, oh, this equation here is means that go until 4, but not include 4. This is why we have parentheses here, but in the beginning we have the braces. So this includes the start, but it does not include the end. So when we are saying plus n equals 4, meaning that 0 is this one and goes up until it is lower than the size of the array, which are including the first element, second element, third element, and the fourth element. So let me just compile and see. Okay, so here original array of the string is having the banana, apple, cherry, date. But when it is sorted, we are having the apple first based on the alphabetical order, then banana, then cherry, and then date. So it is now sorted using the sort function, and in the sort function there are two arguments. The first argument is the name of the array of the string, and the second argument is the range that we would like to perform the sorting function. So the range, we are basically here saying start from the beginning. When we are saying the words, it means that start from the beginning and include it, plus n, which is the size of the array of the string, and it's not going to include the last element of the n, which is because n is 4. When it is saying that start from the 0 plus 4 means that go 3 times. It is not including the last n. So n is going to iterate only 3 times. So it is going to first, this is the element, then 1, 2, and 3. And then we are having the sorting over the all of the elements of this array of a string. And then here we are going to print everything of the array as we saw before. So we have a for loop starting from 0. It goes until I is lower than n. When I is lower than n, it means that I is going to take 0, 1, 2, and 3. This 0, 1, 2, and 3. So it is basically printing all the elements that are there. Okay, to be clear, let me give you another example. So I changed this string now. Now it starts with banana and apple, then date, then cherry. So the place of date and cherry are changed. Now we would like to sort this. So in order to sort it, we call the array of the string, and we have the starting from the 0, the first element, and go 4 and not n, which is 2, which is 4. And we are just putting two numbers here because n equals 4 here, but I'm not putting n, and I'm just putting 2 to see how it works. Okay, when I compile, as you see here, it is only sorting the first two elements and not all the elements. It is, you see, the date and cherry are not in ascending order or alphabetical order. So when you put number 2 here, it is basically going to sort only the first two elements, meaning that the element that are having the index 0 and 1. Okay, the first two elements, we are going to put 2. But if I put 3 here, for example, still among these three, it is considering these three, and among these three, the sorting will be apple, banana, and date because D comes after B. Okay, so when we put 3, it is going to sort the first 3 elements only, and it is not going to go through the fourth element. So when it's 3, it is going to consider element 0 with the index 0, element second element with the index 1, and the third element with the index 2. But basically, if we want to have the full sorting of the full array, there are 4 elements. We are going to have 4 elements here, and we're going to go for the indexes from 0 to 3. So when I compile, exactly, you see here that the first 4 elements are now sorted. So we have apple, banana, cherry, and date in the end. And instead of this 4, we can simply, when we want to sort the full array, we can just put the n, which is the size, which is also equal to 4, but it's more professional to write the size here rather than directly putting the number there. So I compile again, and we have a consistent result as you see here. So this way we learned how to declare initialize one array of a string and also get the size and sort it until wherever we want. So if you would like to sort the first two elements, just put instead of n put 2, the first 3 elements put the 3, and the first 4 elements or all the elements just put the size. This is how it works. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome to another coding exercise session. We would like to write a program that modifies an array of a string. So we have our string here and we are directly mentioning that there are three elements here with index 0, 1, and 2. So element with index 0 is the first element New York, the second element with index 1 is Paris, and the third element with index 2 is Tokyo. So we would like to modify the second element. To modify the second element, we are going to use the index 1. So cities is the name of the array of the string, and we are putting the number 1 here, meaning that we would like to discuss the first and modify the second element of this array of a string or with the index 1, and we are willing to replace Paris with London. So after that, we would like to print the array. In order to print the array, we see out the updated list of cities, and we have a for loop starting from 0 until I is lower than 3. So it is going to take I equals 0, 1, and 2, and it is going to print the ith element of the array cities, which means that in the first iteration, New York, then updated element, which is London, and then Tokyo. Let me run. Okay, great. So we learned how to modify directly one element. In order to modify that, we type the name of the array of our string. Within the braces, we type the index that we would like to change. In this case, we wanted to change the second element with the index 1, and we replace it with London, and then we simply print out all the elements, so we see the updated array of a string here. So the first one is New York, the second one is London, not Paris anymore, and the third one is Tokyo. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome to the first lecture about strings. First, we would like to discuss what the string is in programming. So a string in programming is a data type. You see it here, it's a reserved keyword. It's a data type used to represent a sequence of characters or letters, numbers, symbols, or spaces. So in simpler terms, a string is like a sentence or word. For example, this hello word here is a string because it contains a sequence of characters and they are enclosed in double quotes. So in order to initialize a string, we need the keyword string. It's the data type. It's the name of the string here. It's str. In the double quote, we are having our string here. So in order to be able to have the length or the size of our string, we can use the predefined length function of the C++. So using the name of the string, then point and the length with empty parentheses, it is going to give us the size or length of this string. Let us run. So it is saying that the length is 13, but how? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13. So as you see here, everything between this double quote is counted. Even the space here is counted, even the comma here is counted, even the mark here is counted. So everything that is between these two uh, double quote is going to be counted as to be the length of the string. So I would say my string, and then I'm telling you Reza. So this is our new string, and when the the length of the second string is, then we are having str, or sorry, my string dot length and del. So this is not correct, sorry. So now I initialized a new string type that is called myString, and in the double quotes it's Reza. So in order to have the length, I am just putting the name of the string, point the length parent empty with empty parentheses function. So it's predefined in C++ and it's going to count it. So the length of the second string is 4 because 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 letters here or spaces or numbers here, so the length is 4. If we had one number here, it should have been 5. Now you see the length of the second string is 5. So basically, this length function is going to give us the size or the length of the string very easily. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, and now we would like to access different characters in a string. So we have one string that is called str and the string is hello. In order to have access to characters, first we need to know their index. So basically this string is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters, or the length is 5. But the indexing in C++ starts from 0. So the first character index is 0. Then this is 1, the index. This is 2, this is 3, and this is the fourth index. So it is having 5 characters, but they are starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Starting from 0 and goes to 4. So in order to access the first character of this string, I mean h, because it starts from 0, we are simply using the name of the string, and then we are having the brackets, and within the brackets we simply type down the element that we would like it to print us. So we would like to print the first element, first character, and the first this is the index of the first uh, character. So the first character index 0 is h, or we can use a predefined function in C++ that is at, and within the parentheses we are saying the number of the index that we would like to be printed. So this one is basically 1. So here we are having the index 0 equals h, index 1 equals e, etc. until the end. Okay, so when we are saying that str, and within the brackets we are typing down the 0, it is going to print h, and then when we are having at library function, and then in the parentheses we are having 1, it is going to go for the index 1, which is e here. So let me run. Okay, so basically here we see that we are accessing the characters of a string using these predefined functions. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to learn how to use the append function in strings. So we are having one string hello, and the name is str. In order to append one word at the end of the first string, we can simply say str.append, and within the parentheses we write whatever that we would like to be appended to the end at the end of the original string. So because it ends with O and there is no space, we put a comma, then one space, and then we type down the word. So let me just run this part. Okay, it is saying that, so originally the string was hello. We appended this comma word part to it. So if I start right away with word, you see that there is no space between them. You see hello word, there is no space between them. So we put one space here. Now there is one space here, and we put one comma, and now it is going to print hello, comma, and then word. So basically using this append function, we can append whatever we want at the end of the original string, and then we were printing it. However, there is another way to do it. Another way to do it, to type down str plus equal, and then in the double quote we type down whatever we want. So basically, if original string was hello, then here in this line we added comma and word, so it is hello, comma, space, word. Now after the execution of the line, our string looks like this. So this is our string now. So when we print it here in this line, we see it. Then we are having the how are you at the end of it. So basically here we are adding one space, how are you? You see, basically using this code, we are adding the how are you, starting with the space at the end of our updated string. So let me run. Great. When we run it, we see that first the hello world is printed using this line here, so this part, and then we are having the how are you part added to it. So hello world, how are you? So in order to append something to the original string, we can either use append or plus equal, and within the double quote we add whatever we want. It will be added to the string, to the updated or original string here. Thank you for watching. Welcome back. Now we would like to use the insert function in C++ for strings. Initially, we initialize one string called str and it is hello. We would like to insert one string to the initial original string, and when we call the insert function within parentheses, there is one comma. So there are two arguments to be mentioned here. First, the position that we would like to insert, and second, the thing that we would like it to be inserted. So when I put 5, so you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 6 elements here, and we insert it. It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when we are having this part inserted at the 5th character, and then we are having this. Let me run. Okay, so the original value was, the original string was hello with one exclamation mark. However, this part 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this part was the 5th char index of the original string. So when we are saying insert at 5, it is now removing this mark here and inserting this comma here. So this part is inserted from the 5th index, and the 5th index is this mark, and so this mark is now removed and is replaced by comma word, which is our message here. If I type down like 6, it is going to keep the first mark here. Okay, you see, so this is inserted at the place 6, so this exclamation mark is still there, it's still here. Then from the 6th character, which is after that, whatever we are putting in the double quote here is going to be inserted in the original array. But if I say, for example, like 2 here and run, you see, so 0, 1, and this is the index 1. Index 2 is this L. Okay, as of there, so the 0 index and the index 1 is printed here, which are H and E. Then whatever we put here is going to be inserted as of the second character. So the rest is now comma and word, and then the rest of the original character is now being printed in the end. So basically now this comma space word is inserted as to be the second character, and when it is finished, the rest of the original is now being printed. So it basically, let me put a space here. It is basically meaning that this part can be inserted anywhere in the original string, depending on where we put the position, but it is not going to remove it, but it is going to simply insert in that position, and the rest of the string is going to be printed afterwards. You see here, so if I mention like insert at 1, it is going to print H first, and then what we are inserting, comma, space, word space, and then ELLO with the mark here. And if I say 0, it is going to first print what we are having here. Okay. So what we are having, comma, space, word, space, is now printed. Then hello is printed. So basically, whatever we would like it to be, we choose the position that we would like to insert it. In the original part, we wanted to insert it at the index 5. So index 5 was this mark. So this mark was here initially. Let me see out str. So let me just show the original also. Yeah, so the original is hello, but when we are inserting the comma, space, word, space, and the end, we are in the 5th index. It is putting this part. This is exactly this part. And then we are having the mark in the end. So using this function, we can insert whatever we want in the string, in the original string, wherever we want, choosing the position before the comma and after the comma. In the double quote, we put whatever we want. So let me change the example. So my last name is Shahin, for example, and here we are having 0, 1, 2, 3, and then I would add it to 4, and I have one space here. So you see the original string is Reza, that is printed using this line here, and the modified string is Shahin, which is inserted at the 4th position of the original string. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's lesson, we are going to use the erase function. So the original string is hello, comma, word with the mark in the end, and we would like to erase it. So erase is going to simply we call the function erase, and within parentheses we need to have two arguments. The first one is the position, and the second one is the length of the erase. So the position that we would like to start the erase is position 5, and we would like to remove 7 characters starting from position 5. So let me find the position 5. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as of this part, it is the position 5. This is a position 5. As of this part, remove 7 characters. Means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the highlighted part, there are 7 characters in the highlighted part as of the position 5. So it is going to remove this part and then print the str for us. Okay, great. So now it is printing the highlighted part as of position 5, and 7 characters are being removed from position 5. So basically we simply can shorten and remove whatever we want from our string, and you see the last character is not removed and it still is there because we were removing only 7 characters. Or if we remove 8 characters, this mark is also will be removed. You see here, okay, so the last mark is also removed here. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to use the replace function. So we have one string that is hello world. Using the replace function, there are 3 arguments to discuss. So we are going to replace 5 characters, which is the middle argument, starting at position 7. This is the first argument, and the third argument is going to be what we are going to replace. So starting from position 7, replace 5 characters, and this is the character to be replaced. Let me run. So you see here starting from the position 7. Position 7 is here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Starting from 7 here, go and replace it. So we are going to have this part, but this part is going to be replaced with 5 characters, replace 5 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 characters are here. So these 5 characters are going to be replaced with what? With the universe, which is the first argument here. That is universe. So in order to wrap up, we are going to start at position 7 and we are going to replace 5 characters. And what we are going to replace? This part, the third argument. So using the replace function in strings. Thank you for watching. Hi, welcome back. Now we would like to discuss substring. So if we have one original string and we would like to form a new string from the existing string, we need to use this substr library function in C++. So we initialize one string here. Let me just change the name for the sake of simplicity, my string. And let me revise this part and this part. Okay. So my string is here and my string 2. Let me just revise the name here as well. Okay. So my string is the original string that is saying hello world. And we would like to form the new string, which we call here my string 2. In order to do that, we would like to form the second string from some part of the first string. To do that, we have substr function. There are 2 arguments here. So basically, in these 2 arguments, there are 2 numbers, and they mean that extract 5 characters starting from position 7. So position 7 is here. Let me find it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So starting at position 7, take 5 characters. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the word is going to be extracted from the first string and it's going to make a copy in the second string. But the first string remains the same. We are not modifying the first string, but only taking some part of the first string to be copied in the second string. So first we are printing out the second string to see how it works. Yes, great. So we see that this word part is copied and pasted in our second string. So we made a new string, we formed a new string from an original string. And if we print the original string here as well, where original string, we see that the original string remains the same. So basically we declared and initialized one string. We took some part of it, we copy pasted some part of it in a new string starting from position 7, taking 5 characters, and using this library function substr, we copy and paste this part of the first string into the second string. Then we printed out the second string, and we also printed out the first string to show that the first string is not changed at all. So here you see the substring is word, substring is word. This is exactly what we wanted, and the original string remains the same, hello world, and we have the original string here. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome back. Now we would like to learn about the clear function in string. So we have one string called str here, and the string is hello. Before doing anything, we are printing this string here, str, and we expect to print hello. However, we can make the screen clear and empty and like it has nothing in it. using a clear function in empty parentheses. Then after cleaning, we see that the string is empty. Let me run. Okay, so here we see that before cleaning, it is hello. We were printing it in here. And then we are clearing the string. And then we are saying after printing, we have nothing here because after this part, we are making the string clear. So using the clear function, we can make the string clear and empty. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to reverse one string. So we are initializing the string here. It is of name string str and it's of type string, of course, and the string is hello. We would like to reverse it using the reverse predefined function. There are two arguments in this parenthesis. We simply type down the name of the string, which is str.begin and empty parentheses and str.end empty parentheses. So in these two arguments, we are basically in the first part saying that the start of the reverse and the end of the reverse. So we would like to reverse the full string. We are saying that start from the beginning of the string and end at the end of the string. Using this, we are going to reverse everything in the string. Let me run. Okay, so here we see that hello is reversed and O and H have changed their position. And then this E and L have changed also their position. And this part remains the same because it's in the middle point. So simply with a reverse predefined function in C++, we can define the beginning of the reverse and the end of the reverse that we are aiming to have. And then we simply put the name of the string point or dot begin empty parentheses and comma str dot end and parentheses and empty parentheses. So this way we are calling the reverse function. Basically the reverse function is something like this. Before the comma is the beginning of the reverse and after the comma it's the end of the reverse, depending on what we want to do with the string. But if we want to reverse the full string, we are starting from the beginning, like here. We type the name of the string, then begin and parentheses, and after the comma, we say the name of the string and end, empty parentheses, and that's it. Thank you for watching.